The Oscars is trending, and if you're a West Side Story fan, I have news.
Five,
Four,
uno.
Polly here on the Latino Slant. I hope everyone is doing well. So, it is that time of year, that Oscars and award season time of year for films in front of and behind the camera. And if you are all into that, I have a fun little video for you today. It is February 1st, which is officially the last day to turn in your Oscar ballots. Now, of course, you have to be in the Academy to do so. Then, February 8th, they will be announced, they being the official nominations in each of the categories. So, um, I saw that Oscars was trending, which I always think is interesting, and I thought I'd do a little deep dive. And I did not have to dive that far to get the site that I wanted. And I am talking about nextbestpicture.com. And let's just go to them real quickly right here. So the title of this um, story is If I Had an Oscar Nomination Ballot. And I love that. I love that what if. So with this certain article, they're basing it off of all the movies they've seen, some of the short lists that's already been announced, and if they had a ballot in these categories, what would they do? And I always like, kind of playing with that, that what if. I always think it's kind of fun and interesting. So what I'm seeing here, though, is two different columns. I want to start on the left side column and then the right side column because the right side column is actually very different than the left side column, and but I think both are hella interesting. Okay, so I want you to pay attention right now. If you are a West Side Story fan and if you are an In the Heights fan, because there's been a lot of kind of dust up as far as these two so-called Latino-based musicals that came out this year, and obviously their studios vying for the nominations and all the acclaim and all that stuff. I want you to pay attention here. And then also on that third column is Encanto, the underdog that's doing so great with all their music as far as Billboard charts. Okay, so now let's go back to that list. Great. So let's make it even a little bigger. Best Picture, which is 10 nominations. And if they had a list, you're going to see a few you can recognize as far as Dune. And then on the bottom, West Side Story. Best Director, Dune, West Side Story, Steven Spielberg. Okay, Best Actress, you don't see Rachel Zegler. She already won a Golden Globe, so this is according to if they had a nomination, if they had a ballot. Okay, Best Actor, Andrew Garfield, Tick, Tick, Boom, which is Lin-Manuel Miranda. Best Supporting Actress, number one on the list, and I think this is alphabetical, is West Side Story's Ariana DeBose. We've been talking about her, praising her for months now. That's probably sure. If any of these nominations, as far as a win for West Side Story, would be Ariana. Best Supporting Actor, okay, none of those above. Let me just stop here. Of those I mentioned, Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actress, Best Actor, no nominations or no what if nominations for In the Heights, according to Next Best Picture, which I'm like, no Best Picture, no Anthony Ramos. Okay, we go on. Best Adapted Screenplay, West Side Story. Interesting. Best Animated Feature, The Underdog, Encanto. I think it's got a really big chance to take it, actually. And we go down now, we go to a kind of more like a technical nominees. If you see Best Cinematography, Best Costume, West Side Story, and Dune. This site is giving a lot of love to Dune on all levels. I will say that. Film editing. Finally, you see In the Heights, which I think is interesting since film editing has a lot to do with directing, has a lot to do with it being a great film, why it wasn't included in those other ones, but you're going to give it editing. Who am I to judge? This is your page. Next best picture. This is your what if. But I like going off this list. All right. And then we go to production design, Dune, West Side Story, sound, Dune, visual effects, Dune, original score, Dune, which original score with Dune was not getting a lot of love. And best original song, Orgullitas Encanto. And not, we don't talk about Bruno, which is the big hit. So obviously you're seeing a lot of love from nextbestpicture.com for West Side Story. Now, um, you could say, well, Paulie, what does that matter? Why should we care about, this website's picks? They're not in a ballot. They don't get a nomination. They're not an academy. They don't count. Okay. Now that may be true that they don't have a ballot. However, these guys are experts as far as following the movies, following the trends, and seeing who is getting what acclaim. And that's where the next column falls, which I think is really, really interesting. The next column is according to critics associations, critic circles from all over the country, the nation, who got the most wins. If I get that right, it's either wins or nominations. Either way, it goes from top to bottom. That is a great gauge as far as the trends, like who is getting ones. And this is all about trends, popularity, politics, studios, uh, going for, for gold with this stuff. So let's go to their list. Now to the far of me, the far right. I'm looking at it straight on, far right. Again, this is all what if, guys. But this column is not a what if. I want to give you one example. Best picture, according to the kind of like what they did is that they took all the circles, all the winners, and who won the most? Power the Dog with 25 different critics' choices, critics association circles. 25 of them gave Power the Dog best picture. Now, go to the next one, Drive My Car, you got 6. Go to the next one, Belfast got 5, Licorice Pizza 5, Coda 5, Green Knight 2. So, excuse me, Coda 2, Green Knight 2. And you have individual awards here. And you don't see in the critics' circles at all. You do not see West Side Story. You do not see In the Heights. So this list here to me is a for sure insight to where the Academy is going to vote. The other side was like where would nextbestpicture.com like to give their nominations to, which I appreciate. I appreciate. So let's keep going. So now that you kind of like see what's going on here with Polly, with what I'm doing with you, with you guys, let's continue because I was like, I think this stuff is fascinating. So we got best picture. We know we kind of from the critics, we kind of see where they're going. And you see West Side Story got 1 vote. Compare that to the 25, right? For Power of the Dog. All right. Best picture, Power of the Dog's Jane Campion, 38. Then a far distant second, Denis Villeneuve with 4. And then you go all the way down, Lin-Manuel with 1, and I take that's for Tick Tick Boom, and then Steven Spielberg for 1. Guys following me? Good. Best Actress, which again Rachel Ziegler won in the category of comedy or musical. She won the Golden Globe for Best Actress, but now she's got to compete with the dramatic ones. And Here you're seeing 22 votes for Kristen Stewart, 22 different critics associations, and you do not see Ziegler in the top 5. You see her way down here with 2 votes. So if you were looking for her to get a nomination, it might not happen. Let's just say the top 5 go on to get nominated. You got Kristen, Olivia Colman, Alana, Jessica Chastain, and then Penelope Cruz. So, not even Nicole Kidman as Lucille Ball is getting in. Just again, playing around. Best Actor, Benedict Cumberbatch, 23. Nick Cage, 12, which I think is fantastic for Pig. Andrew Garfield, Will Smith, then Hidetoshi, excuse me. And again, I do not see anyone from West Side Story or In the Heights. And that's what we're looking at. Interesting, right? Okay. Best Supporting Actress. Now, there you have it. Ariana DeBose with 12. Followed very closely by Kirsten Dunst with 10, which I think is interesting. So if you are a huge Ariana fan, it might be tough competition, but she should be able to pull it out. That is definitely a crowded field. All right. Again, no nominees for any of the actors from In the Heights. Let's go to Best Supporting Actor. None that I see for either movie. Mike Feist, he actually did get one. But again, that's pretty far in the back of the pack. Best Adapted Screenplay, Power of the Dog, all the way down at the bottom, West Side Story. So you see the trends here, guys, that they're going for these other films, these critics, than for West Side Story, just with that actress, though. Nothing for In the Heights. Absolutely nothing for In the Heights. Cinematography, they're giving it to Dune. And then West Side Story is at the bottom. Costume design, Cruella. Best film editing, Power of the Dog. West Side Story kind of comes up there right behind Dune, so that might get a nomination. Look, there's In the Heights again. So the critics are in cahoot are thinking the same thing as next Best Picture. Best Original Score, Dune number 1. I'm really surprised and think it's much of a score, but that's just me. Best Original Song, which I find very strange. No Time to Die with 13. Coda, The Harder They Fall, Paw Patrol, Rebel Hearts. Best Production Design, way at the bottom, West Side Story. Best Sound, Dune. Visual Effects, Dune. Animated Feature, Encanto is in there. I'm surprised the Mitchells versus the Machines is getting all the critics wins. But I do hear that's pretty incredible. 29 compared to 7. Oof. Best Inner. Okay, so I think, yeah. So those are it. This to me, I always geek out on these lists. Find it very interesting. Very interesting. So based off that, right? We could make a couple assumptions. Okay? Assumption number 1. In the Heights doesn't look like it will get any nominations. Maybe a song. I don't even see anyone talking about their songs at all. Encanto should get Best Animated Feature and Best Song. West Side Story, it looks like they got what they wanted. They're getting a tons of acclaim for various categories. It looks like it's going to get at least, I would say, 10 nominations. It'll probably win a couple for sure for Ariana DeBose. How do you guys feel? Hit me in the comments below. What are your thoughts? Are you a big West Side Story fan? In the Heights, Encanto? Are you a musical fan? Because this video is really for you guys and people that are into the award season as well. Yeah. Now, what I would love for you guys to do is check out all our other coverage of West Side Story. We have some great videos featuring, different aspects of the film. We do a really, I did a 40-minute review. The first part is 20 minutes positive, 20 minutes not so positive. But that's it. The Oscars will be announced February 8th. West Side Story looks like it's going to get the praise that it's been wanting as far as nominations. All right, we'll see you on the next one. Wherever you're at, keep your slant right there.
Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. The slant.
Yeah, but isn't this the unplugged version? I don't know. I think it's the unplugged version.
All right, Power, let's go.